From the deadly on-set tragedy of The Crow to the eerie whispers that haunted the set of Psycho, the worlds behind the camera were as terrifying as the stories being filmed. It's not just these movies, but the Lords of Salem also witnessed strange occurrences that left the cast and crew unnerved. If you take a closer look, you'll see that these horrifying things that happened on horror movie sets weren't just coincidences, but sinister events that haunted many. Stay with us as we dive into the spine-chilling incidents that plagued these horror movie sets, where the terrors weren't always scripted. But before things get creepy, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more horrifying stuff. The Possession, a 2012 horror film, revolves around a young girl who becomes possessed after buying an antique diebuck box. This is a container said to trap malicious spirits. Inspired by Jewish folklore, the movie's premise is spine-chilling enough. But what happened behind the scenes of the film made the on-screen terror pale in comparison. Strange, unexplainable events began early in production. A replica of the diebuck box was brought to the set to bring reality to the fiction movie, but its presence seemed to mark the start of unsettling incidents. Most horrifying of all was a mysterious fire that erupted in the storage facility where the props, including the box, were kept. The fire destroyed everything, but that's not chilling as much as the fact that it left no clue to how it was started. Investigators couldn't determine the cause, which added an eerie layer to the already tense atmosphere on set. Actor Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who played the father in the film, described the fire as deeply unnerving. There was no logical reason for it, he later said in interviews. It was like something didn't want that box around. But the fire wasn't the only strange thing to happen. During filming, lights frequently exploded on set without warning. This wasn't just a one-time occurrence, so it wasn't at all normal. It happened so often that it became a source of dread for the crew. Technicians couldn't explain why perfectly functional equipment was failing in such a dangerous way. Cast and crew also reported feeling sudden cold spots in certain areas of the set, even though the building was sealed and the temperatures were controlled. Morgan, a self-professed skeptic of the supernatural, admitted that these incidents made him question his beliefs. "I don't know if I believe in ghosts," he said, "but I can't explain what happened on that set." One day, a prop malfunctioned in a way that left everyone shaken. In a critical scene, the box was supposed to remain shut, but it suddenly popped open on its own. The timing was so perfect, yet so unplanned, that even the director, Ole Bornedal, was left speechless. It was as if the box had a mind of its own. Adding to the unease, several cast and crew members experienced reoccurring nightmares while working on the film. They reported creepy dreams of shadowy figures in suffocating darkness. Some claimed they woke up with scratches on their bodies that they couldn't explain. The psychological toll was high, and things were getting out of hand. One particularly chilling incident involved a visiting rabbi who was brought in to consult on the film's accuracy. The rabbi performed a prayer on set to neutralize any negative energy. For a brief time, the set felt calmer, but the peace didn't last. Shortly afterward, a heavy piece of lighting equipment crashed to the ground without warning, narrowly missing a group of crew members. Morgan shared another unsettling moment involving co-star Natasha Callis, who played his possessed daughter in the film. During a particularly intense scene, Callis' voice changed in a way that startled everyone. "It wasn't a trick of the microphone," Morgan said. "It was deeper, raspier, like something was speaking through her." The moment left everyone on edge, even after the camera stopped rolling. Adding to the production's reputation for the bizarre, the real diebuck box, upon which the film was based, already had a dark history. The box, originally sold on eBay, was said to have caused its previous owners a string of bad luck, including health problems and strange accidents. Knowing this backstory only heightened the tension for cast and crew, many of whom avoided talking about the box altogether. Even after the movie wrapped, the unease lingered. Crew members reported feeling drained, emotionally and physically, long after they left the set. Several cast members refused to keep props from the film, fearing they might carry some kind of residual energy. The haunting incidents on the set of The Possession weren't easy to accept, but they happened nevertheless. Were these just a series of strange coincidences? Or was there something more sinister at play? No one knows for sure, but one thing is certain: the terror behind the scenes was as real and as horrifying as anything captured on film. The Amityville Horror is a chilling tale that has terrified audiences for decades, based on the true experiences of the Lutz family, who moved into a house with a gruesome past. The story explores the supernatural horrors they faced. However, the terror wasn't confined to the screen. The original 1979 film and its 2005 remake were plagued by eerie incidents that made the blood run cold. During the production of the 2005 remake, a series of unsettling events unfolded that mirrored the film's haunting narrative. Melissa George, who portrayed Kathy Lutz, recounted a particularly disturbing experience while filming a scene in the boathouse. Local police interrupted the shoot to inform the crew that a dead body had been discovered floating nearby. The deceased was identified as a local fisherman, but the timing and proximity of the discovery sent chills through the set. George later remarked on the incident, noting the discomfort it brought to an already tense filming environment. Adding to the unease, several cast and crew members reported waking up at precisely 3:15 a.m. This is the exact time when, according to the film's lore, the original murders in the Amityville house took place. Ryan Reynolds, who played George Lutz, acknowledged this eerie coincidence, suggesting that while it might have been a subconscious reaction to the script, it was nonetheless unsettling. The sense of dread was increased by the passing of real-life Kathy Lutz during the first week of filming. George described experiencing unexplained cold spots on the set following Lutz's death, intensifying the feeling that they were not alone. She mentioned an ice-cold patch of air that seemed to follow her, making the fictional fear on screen feel all too real. The original 1979 film also had its share of mysterious occurrences. James Brolin, who starred as George Lutz in the original, experienced a frightening incident that convinced him to take the role. While reading the script late one night, a pair of his pants fell from a hanger. This, of course, caused him to jump in shock. Interpreting this as a sign, Brolin agreed to participate in the film, though the experience left him visibly shaken. Both films were shot in locations that bore strange resemblances to the actual Amityville house. This added even more fear to the production. Crew members reported feelings of unease and a constant sense of being watched. Equipment malfunctions were frequent, with lights flickering and cameras capturing unexplained anomalies. In one particularly harrowing incident during the 2005 remake, a malfunctioning safety mechanism caused a set piece to collapse. It narrowly missed several crew members. While no one was injured, the close call left the team rattled and questioning whether unseen forces were messing around. Reynolds noted that the creepy sense of dread affected his performance. George echoed this sentiment, stating that the combination of real-life tragedies and on-set anomalies made the horror feel too real. Even after the filming concluded, the cast and crew couldn't shake the feeling that they had entered a paranormal realm beyond comprehension. Many chose not to speak publicly about their experiences because they feared ridicule or the possibility of inviting further misfortune. Those who did share their stories often did so reluctantly. The inexplicable events that plagued both the original and its remake continue to intrigue and terrify, leaving an undeniable mark on all who dared to bring this haunted tale to life. If you think these incidents are scary, then don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more scary stuff. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho is one of the most iconic horror movies of all time. Its shocking twists and eerie atmosphere have haunted viewers for decades. But there's more to the terror that you've watched on your TV. Behind the scenes, strange and unsettling things happen that still haunt its victims. The most famous scene in the movie, the shower murder, was as intense to film as it is to watch. It took an entire week and 70 different camera angles to perfect, with Hitchcock obsessing over every detail. Janet Leigh, who played Marion Crane, later admitted that this scene left her deeply shaken. After filming, she could no longer take showers, preferring baths instead because the fear stayed with her for life. Things get even creepier years later. Myra Davis, who worked as Lee's stand-in during the movie, became the victim of a brutal crime. She was murdered by someone who was reportedly obsessed with Psycho. The tragedy added a chilling real-life layer to the already terrifying movie. Even during filming, Hitchcock had a way of unsettling his actors. To get genuine reactions of fear, he would use unexpected tactics. For instance, he once placed a life-size prop of Norma Bates' corpse in Janet Leigh's dressing room without warning. The scream she let out was as real as it gets. The cast and crew also experienced eerie moments on the set. The Bates Motel and the creepy Bates house felt so realistic that people reported feeling uneasy while filming. Some even mentioned strange equipment malfunctions, like flickering lights and unexplained glitches in the cameras. It was as if the set itself had a haunting presence. The psychological effects of the film extended beyond the shoot. Anthony Perkins, who played the disturbed Norman Bates, struggled to escape the role. For years, he was typecast as a creepy, unhinged character, which made it hard for him to branch out in his career. Hitchcock, known for his perfectionism, also became oddly paranoid during the production. He went to extreme lengths to keep the movie's twists a secret, even buying up as many copies of the original novel as he could. His obsession with preserving the mystery of Psycho seemed to mirror the movie's themes of secrets and deception. One of the strangest facts about Psycho is its role in breaking taboos. It was the first film to show a flushing toilet on screen, something that was unheard of at the time. Hitchcock had to fight censors to keep this scene in the movie. This small but controversial detail added to the unsettling feeling of the film. Though the movie is known as a masterpiece, it comes with a cost. Cast and crew alike were left poorly shaken by the experience, and its influence followed them long after production ended. To this day, Psycho is remembered not just for its terrifying story, but for the strange and spooky things that happen behind the scenes. It's proof that sometimes reality can be just as scary as fiction. The Crow, released in 1994, is a dark tale of love and vengeance following musician Eric Draven. He returned from the dead to avenge his and his fiance's murders, and the story is as sinister as it sounds. The film's gothic atmosphere and tragic storyline captivated audiences, but the real-life events during its production were even more harrowing. The most tragic incident occurred on March 31st, 1993, when lead actor Brandon Lee, son of martial arts legend Bruce Lee, was fatally wounded during filming. In a scene where his character is shot, a prop gun mistakenly contained a live round, leading to his untimely death at the age of 28. This devastating event was not the only mishap on set. On the first day of shooting, February 1st, 1993, a carpenter named Jim Martishoes suffered severe burns after live power lines were struck by a crane he was operating. This accident resulted in serious injuries to his face, chest, and arms. Additionally, the production faced numerous challenges, including crew members getting injured and props and sets being damaged. These incidents contributed to an atmosphere of unease and tension throughout the filming process. The series of unfortunate events led some to speculate about a curse surrounding the film, especially considering the parallels to Brandon Lee's father, Bruce Lee, who also died under mysterious circumstances. This perception of a curse was further fueled by the dark themes of the movie and tragic loss of its star. Despite these challenges, The Crow was completed and released, becoming a cult classic. The film is dedicated to Brandon Lee and his fiancée, Eliza Hutton, as a tribute to their love and the dreams they shared. Rob Zombie's 2012 film, The Lords of Salem, explores the dark history of Salem, Massachusetts, which is extremely horrifying. This movie intertwines modern-day radio DJ Heidi Hawthorne's life with a coven of ancient witches. While the film's narrative is steeped in horror, the production itself faced challenges, and extremely terrifying ones. One of the most significant hurdles was the passing of actor Richard Lynch, who was cast as Reverend John Hawthorne. Lynch's death during filming necessitated script adjustments and the recasting of his role. This impacted the production schedule and the film's narrative structure. Budget constraints further complicated the production. Financial limitations led to the omission of several scenes from the original script, including flashbacks to the Salem witch trials. These cuts reduced the backstory and depth of certain characters, altering the film's intended storyline. The film's setting in Salem, Massachusetts, contributed to an unsettling atmosphere during production. What's more, Massachusetts is a town known for witchcraft and historical persecution. The crew's immersion in this environment, combined with the film's dark themes, may have heightened feelings of unease and discomfort. Despite these challenges, The Lords of Salem was completed and released, showing Rob Zombie's steadfast vision. While the production of The Lords of Salem did not experience overly supernatural events, the combination of cast changes, budgetary issues, and the haunting setting contributed to a challenging and at times eerie filmmaking process. As we've seen, the world of horror filmmaking is not only filled with eerie stories on screen, but also with the unsettling events behind the scenes. From tragic accidents to unexplained phenomena, these real-life horrors add a chilling layer to the movies we know and love. As filmmakers continue to push boundaries and explore the darker side of human nature, we can't help but wonder what other terrifying tales lie behind the scenes. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel too.